Okay, I'm super excited that you're with me on this journey called Kabbalah Love from Fear to Love. Now, the very first thing that we're going to be studying is the purpose of life. Now, it's a very big subject, but it's actually super important because in order to be happy, one of the main things that I imagine you're here for is you want to gain control over your life. We want to feel calm, but we also want to feel purposeful. We want to, what does purposeful mean? That you're full of purpose. So in order to be full of purpose, you have to know the purpose and the meaning of life. It's a very big subject. I can't really do justice in this little, I'm trying to keep everything very concise, give you the point, give you the bottom line. I really hope you take a tremendous focus on what I'm saying because there's a lot of material condensed here. But basically, in order to understand, the purpose of life, you have to understand what is life. So, in order to understand life, you have to understand who we are because we are life, right? No people, no life. So, if we are life, then we have to understand our own life. And then we can begin to understand perhaps what is the purpose of life. So, you and I, in fact, oh my gosh. That was a stray walnut. You and I, in fact, every single person share in common two traits. We all have these two things. And that is, we have a body and we have a soul. If you didn't have a soul, you wouldn't be alive. If you didn't have a body, your soul wouldn't be in you. Now, these two things, the body and the soul, are actually opposing forces. And a very good example for this is like a candle. It has a flame and it has actually wax. These two things are opposite. The flame wants to burst free, and the wax and the oil are holding it down, grounding it into this world. So there's a part of us that just wants to save the world. Just why can't we all love each other? And then there's another part of us that is you know what? Nobody's going to take advantage of me. And, oh, that guy's got a bigger house. I'm going to get a better house. So we got this dichotomy going on here. Now, if I serve my higher self, then I will feel good. But if I serve my lower self, it's just a matter of time. First of all, if I get what I want, and personally, I've had fame, I've had it all, and it's all meaningless. It literally means nothing. It's hard to imagine because when we have that desire is oh wow, if I had that, I would be as happy as that person. Well, first of all, that person isn't happy. They just have a nice photo shoot. And the second thing is, there's nothing in the physical world that can make your soul happy. Your soul is not physical. It's spirit. It's part of God. And God doesn't get happy from a rock. What's a house? It's a big rock. What's a car? It's another rock. So if it serves a positive function, as we'll be speaking about later, then it has a value. But if it doesn't serve a positive function, then it doesn't have a value. It's valueless. It's meaningless. And so if we understand that the body, the physical world, is here to serve the soul, and this is really why we need a connection to God. Because, there was a young man, he was becoming religious, and interesting guy. I mean, I guess he was a little spiritual. He was able to hear maybe size of his body. And, on one hand, he knew that the spirituality and its spiritual experiences, he wanted to be spiritual. On the other side, his ego was saying, no, you got to do things for you. So in other words, the ego just says, me, more me. And if anybody goes against me, destroy them, attack, vengeance. That's the ego. It's the whole brain of the ego. But first of all, if you get more, it won't make you happy. And second of all, if you get vengeance, it also won't make you happy. So the only thing that can make you happy is feeding the soul. And that's where God comes in. Because once we understand that we're all part of this massive movement, which is called making the world a better place, and we all have a mission. I have my family, my people. Of course, I'm open to all people, but primarily They say think global, act local. The people that are thinking global and not acting local are usually, they're just radicals, and they're actually destructive. The people that care, first of all, about their closest family, those are the people that really care about others as well. So that's the whole point. The point is that God wants you to make a difference. And in order to do that, you have to have what's called, different words for it. In Hebrew, it's called rotzoi v'shuv, positive inspiration, and then application. It's also called yin and yang. The point is, and we're going to guide you on how to do this. This is really what the course is about. We're going to give you actual tools on how to activate your selflessness, how to activate your love for those closest to you. And by doing that, you will fill your life with meaning and purpose. And this is very critical. People underestimate how important this is because they think, oh, well, maybe I could just advance and leave that for the past. First of all, time goes. I have a friend who's quite successful. He says, he was about 50 years old. He said, I really shouldn't complain about life. He says, if you have a ship and it's going in that direction, you never change the direction, it's going to go in that direction. And the same thing is, if you don't change, you're never going to change. Now's the time. The second thing is that ultimately it is only the giving that we do that makes us feel good. And so therefore, and this is a beautiful concept, that it's okay to have a lot of our lives involved in material things, let's say earning money, whatever, as long as the fundamental focus is something higher. Because then everything that I'm doing, like there are people, Albert Schweitzer, who was a doctor, he went somewhere to Africa, opened a little nowhere, gave out free medicine. So people are able to do this because they know that what they're doing is meaningful. So if you have a why to your life, if you have a meaningful purpose, they say you can have any how. But if you have no why, then all the hows, all the tricks, everything, it's all meaningless. It means nothing. It will never make you happy. And so if you seek to have inner peace, and inner peace is super important. I want to say about myself, I have a blog. You're welcome to go there. It's called Kabbalah, Wisdom, or LaAcademyofLife.org. So KabbalahWisdom.org, LaAcademyofLife.org. The bottom line is, for the past 10 years, I've put out over 70,000 blogs. Why do I do it? I don't get any money for it. But it makes me feel good that I'm doing something of value. I need it for my own soul. And this makes me happy. And so you need to see the things that you're good at, the things that you could contribute. And when you do it, and I'm going to help you on the how to get this done, but when you do it, that, and probably that alone, is the key to your happiness. Thank you so much for watching.